Imagine you have an hour of a recorded lecture, an interview, or your own video, and you need text or subtitles out of it. Transcribing by hand is hours of pain, and paid services charge for every minute and often struggle with many languages. Today, I'll show you how to do it for free, right on your own computer, and with striking accuracy. We'll run the Whisper neural network, which turns speech into text in dozens of languages. And in a few lines of code, we'll build a tool that transcribes any recording and makes subtitles with timecodes by itself. Grab a coffee, this will be useful. Here's what we'll arrive at. The audio track runs from left to right, and below, in real time, the recognized text appears, already split into phrases and with timecodes. So at the output, we get not just a wall of text, but ready subtitles, what was said and at which second. By the way, notice the small slip on the word whisper. The AI isn't perfect on names and rare terms, and that's normal. I'll show you how to live with that later. And now let's build this tool from scratch. Installation couldn't be simpler, one command, and we need FFmpeg installed for reading audio. We import the Whisper library and load a model. And here's an important choice. There are several models, from the tiny one to the huge large one. The bigger the model, the more accurate the recognition, but the slower and heavier it is. For most tasks, the sweet spot is small or medium, already very accurate and yet snappy even without a graphics card. Now the recognition itself, and it's just one line. We pass the model the path to the file, and it doesn't matter whether it's audio or video, FFmpeg will extract the sound itself. You can hint the language, for example Russian, so the model doesn't guess and works more accurately, or you can not specify it at all, and then Whisper will detect the language by itself. Back comes an object with the results, and the first thing in it is the full recognized text. We print it and make sure everything worked. But the most valuable thing is hidden deeper. Besides the solid text, Whisper returns a list of segments, and each one has a start time and an end time. Essentially, the model didn't just hear the words, it knows at which second each phrase was spoken. We loop over the segments and print, for each, its time interval and text. These timecodes are the foundation of subtitles, and they're exactly what separates a serious tool from a simple toy that spits out only a chunk of text. Here's how it looks on our test audio. Whisper split the speech into phrases, gave each a timecode, and the text almost perfectly matches what was said. You see that very inaccuracy on the name. The model heard it its own way. This is typical behavior of any recognition. Names, brands, and rare terms can get distorted. In practice, it's fixed simply, with a light manual edit of the ready text or your own replacement dictionary. But all the routine, 99% of the work, the machine has already done for you in seconds. The final touch, let's turn the segments into a real subtitle file. The subtitle format is simple. A number, a line with the time from and to in a special form, and the text itself. We write a small function that converts seconds into this format, go over all the segments and stack them into a file with the .srt extension. That's it. Now this file can be attached to a video on YouTube or in a player, and the subtitles will line up perfectly by timing. 20 lines that replace a whole paid service. A couple of words about why this works so well. Whisper was trained on hundreds of thousands of hours of speech recordings in many languages. The model learned to connect sounds with letters and words, and not letter by letter, but by meaning. It understands the context of a phrase, so it copes with accents, noise, and even when people speak unclearly. And the most important thing for us, it works completely offline on your own machine. No recordings go to someone else's servers. That's not only free, but also private, which is crucial for lectures, calls, and personal recordings. And now where this brings real benefit and money. First, the obvious one. Subtitles for your own videos. For YouTube, that's a boost to reach and accessibility. Second, transcribing lectures, webinars, interviews, and work calls into text you can then search through easily. Third, from a transcript you can easily cut posts, articles, and quotes, reusing the same content. And yes, transcription and subtitles are a popular freelance service, and now you have a tool that does it in seconds. One honest caveat: only transcribe recordings you have the right to. Other people's private conversations, obviously, no. So in a few lines, we built a free alternative to paid transcription services that works offline and understands dozens of languages. All the code in a single file will be in the description. Feed it any recording of yours and check. And if you want to follow up, for example, how to bolt on translation of the subtitles into another language or a convenient interface, write in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, it gets even more interesting from here, and see you next time.